Page 4. I'll go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Jyoda Zoge Shona Chanju Bagu Dane Gyapsuji Age Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjir Sangye Dubare Sho Sangye Chodan Zoge Shonam Chanju Bagu Dane Gyapsuji Age Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjir Sangye Dubare Sho Sangye Chodan Zoge Shonam Chanju Bagu Dane Gyapsuji Age Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Dola Penjir Sangye Dubare Sho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodham Evam Bhari Shramanaye Svaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Jayo Nirodham Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Svaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodham Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Svaha Teyatha Om Gate Gate Aragate Arasam Gate Bodhiswaha Teyatha Om Gate Gate Aragate Arasam Gate Bodhiswaha Teyatha Om Gate Gate Aragate Arasam Gate Bodhiswaha. What the Bodhicitta from where we left yesterday. There are 9 steps for the method of utilizing and exchanges of others. 9 steps. Okay. I hope all the 9 steps are on our fingertips. Okay. Anyone very quickly? What are 9 steps? 9 steps. What's the first one? Equalizing the exchanges of others. 1. Number 2. Reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Number 3. Reflecting on the demerits of merits of cherishing others. Number 4. Number 4. Taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Number 5. And giving your happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. Then number 6. Actual exchange of self and others. Number 7.
Remembering the kindness of others.
Special recollection of the kindness of others. Number 8. Altruism. Number 9. Bodhicittas. Very good. Successful. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we did which step? Of the 9 steps, we did the first one. We finished the first one. Okay, so the second one is reflection on the demerits of cherishing the self. Okay. Oftentimes, people emphasize on the practice of Tonglen. Tonglen. Tong, give happiness to others. Len, take the suffering of others. So this is what people, oftentimes they suggest. The teachers suggest people to the students to do that and so forth. Particularly when you are going through difficulties, you are being advised to do this. Okay. So what I would suggest is that, okay, so by the way, what I would suggest is that I'm sharing my thoughts with you, and finally, through your own experience, you have to see. What I'm saying is that Tonglen practice, for some people, is fine. For some people, you do it directly. Tonglen practice, for 9 steps, the Tonglen practice constitute the step number 4 and number 5. Step number 4 and 5. So for some people, it's fine, you can directly do it. For others, if you do it overly, without other steps included, it may not be helpful. Instead, it may make you feel burnout. Right? You already have the problem. And then you take the suffering of others still more, right? Then you feel burnout. These things can happen. So therefore, what I would suggest is that if some teachers suggest you, you have this problem, you do Tonglen practice, right? So what I would suggest is that there's no harm in doing it, but do it with the inclusion of the other steps. If you include the other steps, you will never feel burnout. If you don't include the other steps, then you can easily feel burnout. Okay, this is, I'm sharing with you, and you apply in your own life and see how true that is. You're getting it? This is an extremely important point. Why we feel burnout when we do the practice of Tonglen is because particularly, missing the point number 1, point number 2, and point number 3. When point number 2, point number 3, and then the point number, the 7. Point number 2, 3, and point number 7. When these 3 points are missing, then one can easily feel burnout with the practice of Tonglen. So, Tonglen, when you do that, I would very much suggest you to do with the inclusion of the other steps. Okay. With the inclusion of the other steps, then you see that there's such a joy in doing Tonglen. Burnout means you feel tired, you don't feel the joy. With the other steps included, you feel the joy in doing the Tonglen. Okay, this is so important. Okay, so don't forget what we discussed yesterday. What we discussed was that finally, this practice mainly on the till step number 7. Till step number 7 is precisely to cultivate the feeling of love and affection towards other sentient beings. And to all sentient beings, not just other in a loose sense. Feeling of love and affection towards all sentient beings. That is precisely extremely important. Feeling of love and affection towards all sentient beings. And then step 8 would then go to make this feeling of love and affection to be transformed into compassion. Step 8.
compassion and altruism. Otherwise, up to this point, step 7 is to cultivate the feeling of love and affection. Because what is important, for example, say, tell me, say compassion. Anyone who likes to share your own thoughts, what you've learned, or what you think, just share your thoughts. What do you understand by compassion? Anyone, just express, share your thoughts. What do you understand by compassion? What you've learned of, or say, what do you think it is? Anyone? I'm not seeing Nicole. Yes, Mark?
If you have to do special effort to help someone.
Okay, special effort.
It is no compassion. If you have to do effort.
Special effort to help someone. Very good. Anyone else? Yes, Maria?
C'est avec la compassion, on souffre de voir les autres souffrir et ne pas pouvoir les aider sur nous. C'est souffrir de voir les êtres souffrir.
When we see others, they are hurt, it hurts ourselves.
On peut plus supporter cela.
Okay, when somebody else is hurt, you feel the hurt. This is more like empathy. It is more like empathy. Good?
Être touché.
Touched.
Okay, you feel touched. Yeah, somebody is sad, you feel touched. Okay, good. Yes, Odi. Food.
C'est le souhait que tous les êtres soient libérés de la souffrance et de ses causes.
It's the wish that all the beings are free from suffering and its causes.
Okay, the wish that others be free from suffering, the cause of suffering. Very good. Chen?
I would like to say the same thing.
Same. Yes. Patrick?
To take care of others.
To take care of others. Okay. Yes, Martin?
I think we understand the suffering of the others.
Okay, we understand the suffering of others. When you see others suffering, then you understand the suffering of
We
others.
believe, we think, maybe. We believe we understand. I'm not sure. We
Okay.
can be sure we understand or not.
Okay. So, the thing that you think that I understand the suffering of others. We are not sure whether you've understood it or not, but you think that you've understood the suffering of others. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Daniel?
Considering others as equals, no discrimination at all, open arms.
Okay, consider equal, everyone is equal. Okay. So, look, why I'm asking this question is because that these are very precisely, because that the practice on compassion, practice on bodhicitta, the practice of the various steps, they are very systematic, they are to be understood very systematically and practiced very systematically. So therefore, these things, compassion, then in the mornings, we do the practice of 4 immeasurables, you remember? What is the first one? What's the first one?
Wish that all such beings have the happiness and
Very good. What is that? The wish that the beings are happy. What is that feeling known as?
Love and compassion.
Loving kindness. Very good. What's the second one which we used to do in the mornings? Number 2, the wish that the beings don't suffer. Number 2, what is that called as? Compassion. You're getting it? Okay, now we should be more professional. Okay, compassion. What's compassion? Loving kindness. What is loving kindness? Compassion. Right? We don't do like this now. And what is compassion? Helping others. What is loving kindness? Helping others. Okay, now they are very precise. Each one of them have very precise meaning. Don't mix that up. And in the mornings, in fact, in the mornings, setting the proper motivation. We begin with this. You remember? Setting the proper motivation. How many points are there? How many points I share with you in the morning? Setting proper motivation? You just go into meditation, right? Just you think. So therefore, without the interaction, this is the problem. Without the interaction, then you go to meditation. Then if somebody from outside look at you, wow, they're all into meditation, right? And he's saying something, they're all into meditation. Why is he saying something? They're all into meditation, right? So therefore, you do not catch the points. Those points are very important in the mornings. If you catch the morning points, just the morning setting motivation itself gives you an overview of the practice of the Buddhism, right? In the mornings. Okay, how many points? 4 points? Or 5 points? Hey, setting proper motivation, it has 4 points. Huh?
What to visualize, how to visualize?
Even Nico failed. 3. Fritz. What Fritz said? 3 points. You're getting, this is so important. Morning session when I'm saying something, not because I want to say something, right? It's because it's very important. Okay. Now the point what I'm saying is that all these 4 points, the 4 immeasurables, loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity, they have very professional, very specific meanings. And then we learn the steps. We learn the steps. Altruism, it has a specific meaning. Bodhicitta has very specific meaning. It's not that you can just say altruism is loving others. Compassion is loving others. Right? Okay, kindness is loving others. It's not like that. It has everything has, each one of them has very specific meanings. Don't forget it. With this in mind, first compassion. Compassion has two sides. Compassion has 2 sides. Loving kindness has 2 sides. Joy, immeasurable joy, not in the usual context. Immeasurable joy of the 4 immeasurables. Joy has a special context, special meaning. Equanimity has a special meaning. Tell me. There are here we have Russian, we have French, and we have Dutch, we have Belgian, we have Chinese, we have American, we have Tibetan. Okay, tell me, what's the common between all these people? What's the common thing? That they're all human beings, yes, no? Likewise, compassion, loving kindness, joy, equanimity, all these 4, in the context of 4 immeasurables, what is the common thing between all 4? What is the common thing amongst these 4? Is one thing is common, which is overarching all the 4, is the feeling of closeness, feeling of love. Don't forget it, the feeling of love. Feeling of love is the common factor, common thing amongst all these 4 immeasurables, feeling of love. Now the feeling of love can take 4 different forms, depending on the situation. Okay, I'll create a situation and you tell me. Say, what would be a reaction if say you go to a shop and suddenly the person becomes so sick? What would be a reaction? Person becomes so sick. Concern. Concern, right? Okay, say if that person happens to be your mother, what's your reaction? Panic. then your mother's stomach ache, your mother headache, or you panic, right? Okay, tell me.
Sadness.
Huh?
Don't worry.
Okay, tell me. You may not give the labels, but you see, emotionally, what will you feel?
You want to help.
Huh?
Afraid.
Fear.
Afraid. I'm afraid. No, I should run away. My mother say I should run away. Okay.
Walk closer.
Yes, please.
You want to go there, you walk
You want to
closer.
go there and then
See what you can do.
Get it out.
see what you can do. Okay. So emotionally, see what you can do is action. Right? What you can do is action. The feeling, what is that driving force? That may you be freed from this suffering. Yes, no?
Yes.
May you be free from this suffering. Then, may you be free from suffering. Then, what can I do? How to free her from the suffering? Then you see what can I do to help. Okay. Now, say, what is your reaction if that person happened to be your very nasty neighbor? Very nasty neighbor, right? Very mischievous, nasty, very cruel neighbor. He's sick. Then what happens? What a joy. Oh, I'm lucky that now tomorrow he will not create a problem to me. Right? Tomorrow he'll be in hospital, so I'll have a sound sleep. Right? So instead of concern, instead of wishing that you be free from suffering, you have a feeling that I'm happy that you are suffering. What's it? Why you have two different reactions to the same situation? Other person sick, becoming sick. If the mother, your reaction is very considerate, concerned. If the other person is a nasty neighbor, you feel that okay, it's good that you are sick. Okay, why two opposite reactions? Why? Tell me. Attachment or say feeling of love. Yes, feeling of love and affection. This is missing. When the feeling of love and affection is there, one feeling of love and affection from your side, feeling of love and affection from the other side, sick. Then what happens? This love and affection will wish, may you be freed from suffering. You agree with me? This is known as compassion. Without love and affection, you see the other person suffering, may you have more suffering. This is not compassion. You're getting it? So for compassion, there should be two elements. One is the subjective element, other is the objective element. What is the subjective element required? Feeling of love and affection, feeling of closeness. Feeling of love is required, subjectively. From the object, what is required? That the object should be in a problem. When these two things happen, then this love and affection will turn the form of compassion. You're getting it? Okay, imagine that you're a very young girl or a young boy, age 5 or 6, right? And you see that you go to school and your classmates' mother comes. Mother comes in a limousine car. No, what's it? The BMW car. Right? BMW car. And you are a very young girl or young boy, age 5, 6. Very big, very good, extremely expensive car, right? And who's that? That's the mother of my classmate. I also have a mother, yes, no? And my mother doesn't have a car, right? So what do you wish? May my mother also have a limousine car. You getting it? So this is, you have the feeling of love and affection. Here, you're not saying that may my mother be free from suffering. You're saying that may my mother have additional happiness. You're getting it? This is known as loving kindness. It's not compassion, it's loving kindness. It's the same feeling of love and affection. When the object, subject is same. Subject is loving kindness. Subject meaning your mind. Your mind is feeling of love. And the object is, when the object is deprived of happiness. When the object is deprived of happiness, then you wish that the object, that person has happiness. This is known as loving kindness. Same feeling of subject, your mind is the feeling of closeness, love and affection. When the object, when the person, other person is suffering, then this mind will take the form of what will this mind what form this mind will take? Compassion. So whereas if the mind is feeling of love and affection, but if the subject is deprived of happiness, then this love and affection will take the form of loving kindness. Very good. 2. Right? Now you see that, let's say that they say that your classmate's mother comes, or your classmate's father comes with the very good shoes, and your father is working in the field, and the shoe is very simple shoe. What do you wish? May my father also have good shoes, nice shoes. Then what happens? That say people give you birthday gifts. You're a very young child, but it gives all the present monies that you keep separately. You buy a shoe for your father. You getting it? And how long will this shoe last? The shoe lasts for the next 10 years, 20 years. Shoe lasts for how long? Hey, no idea. Huh?
Depends on the shoe.
Is it all? How long?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, usually how they say some people they have 700 pairs of shoes. You know that? Yeah, some people have 700 pairs of shoes. So you want to give only one shoe to your father for 2 years. Right? Okay, what I'm saying is that this shoe will not last long. Again, he's working in the field, because of which it will last another few months. But your classmate's father is always with a good shoe all the time. And your father, when he gives a good shoe, is a good shoe there for 2 months. And again it becomes bad shoes. You're getting it? Then what do you want? What do you want? May my father have the same good shoe all the time. You're getting it? This is known as the immeasurable joy. So my father has the happiness. May he have the happiness all the time. May he never be separated from the happiness. You getting it? Even if he gets happiness, but can be separated from the happiness. So happiness may be that his happiness will be stable. Okay, that is known as immeasurable joy. Joy meaning that, say, you see the father happy, and you see the father is happy, the father happy consistently. Then you feel joy. Okay, the next one is immeasurable equanimity. Equanimity meaning equilibrium, balance. Balance. When you see that the beings, the people, so say some people, they love person A and hate person B. So this is imbalance. This acute love for some, the disliking for others, imbalance. So may all others have the balance. May all others have the balance, not have hate and excessive love. This imbalanced state, may they be free from this imbalanced state. This is known as immeasurable equanimity. Okay, point that I'm sharing with you, why I'm saying this is that the 4 immeasurables. What is the common factor which is common with all the 4? Feeling of love and affection. Very good. Okay, feeling of love and affection. So, from the 9 steps that we are learning, step 1 through to step 7. Step 1 through to step 7 is primarily to build the feeling of love and affection towards all sentient beings. You getting it? Step 1 through to 7. Step 7 is what? For what purpose? To build unconditional love towards all sentient beings. You getting it? Okay, this is so important. Okay, tell me, how can, generally speaking, how many of you have the feeling of genuine feeling of love and affection towards someone? How many of you have that feeling, genuine feeling of love and affection towards someone, at least one time in your life? Right? Genuine feeling of love and affection. Genuine is a word. Right? Genuine feeling. Okay, tell me. Say, can you give me some examples? Genuine feeling of love and affection? 1 or 2 examples, anyone?
My love to my father.
Maria's feeling of love and affection towards the father, right? Good. Anyone else? Alex?
I love my kids.
Alex?
How they behave, I still want them to behave.
Irrespective of how the children behave, Alex love for the two daughters, two kids. Anyone else? Okay. Same. Okay. Now let me. Okay. Say, if you don't. Okay. I'll share one thing with you. Let's say that you are in a community. You suddenly end up in a community, or say you are already in a community, and the people there, they're more, it's just normal like this. And then usually say, how do people start to feel close to each other? Generally speaking, how does it happen? How does it happen?
When they spend time together.
Yes.
When they begin to speak.
When they spend time together and they start fighting. Spend time together and then they know each other so well, they start fighting. Or, wow, tell me, no experience.
They have some common interests, common points to share.
Or common point to share, say me and say Li Chen, we are all both good in painting, then we have jealousy towards each other, then we love each other. They have common things to share, so we have jealousy towards each other, right? No experience. Anyone? Hey.
And when they are kind to one another and supportive of each other.
Exactly. Right. Okay. So generally speaking, if two persons have something common, then you will see that there's a greater possibility for each other to be kind to each other. For the two of them to be kind to each other. Because there's some common interest. Say for example, if somebody loves cheesecake, and don't think that I love cheesecake. Right? When I was in Singapore, I talked about cheesecake with example, like cheesecake all the time. They brought big cheesecake 2 times, right? So just okay, croissant. It's better for you, right? That's a croissant. Say if both of you love croissant so much, and no one else loves croissant, right? Only 2 of you love the croissant so much, then I'll say that, I need people to help me, and what I have only croissant, right? And then he loves croissant, she loves croissant, right? And then this croissant is something which is the common between the two, because of which you give each other, and then you started to feel close to each other, right? Okay. So from this, what Maria said is that when you feel kind, when you start to get the benefit, kindness from others, then automatically your mind flows towards the other person. You getting it? Okay. This is what we discussed yesterday. Do you remember? You remember yesterday? For how the young child, day one you were born. You do not know that your mother, but after 3 years, after 4 years, your love for your mother becomes so intense. Do you remember that? Did we discuss this yesterday?
Yes.
Huh? Yes, no?
Yes.
We discussed that, right? Okay. What was the conclusion that we came up with? Why this child, day one, no affection towards the mother, and after 3 years, 4 years, incredible love and affection towards the mother. Why? We came to a conclusion. Why? Because because I'm not going to give the answer. Tell me. Why?
Benefits.
Because you felt the tremendous benefit coming from this mother towards you. Right? When you feel that, then where you get the benefit, your mind will go towards the air. You're getting, for example, in the winters, right? You're terrible cold, and then where you feel the heat, you go closer towards that. Yes? No experience? Europeans, you should have experience. Right? You go out, there's a tremendous terribly cold there, and then suddenly you want to look for a place where there's a heating system, right? So where the heating is there, it benefits you. What benefits you? You go close to the air. You're getting it. This human psyche, human psychology. So therefore, where you get the maximum benefit, your mind flows towards that. This is known as feeling of closeness. You're getting it? This is a key. This is a key. Of all these steps, this is the key. What is the key? That the feeling of closeness, how do we cultivate the feeling of closeness? Is by seeing the benefit. That I'm getting benefit from the other person. You getting it? Okay. Now let's say that within the mind, we see that there are two mental states. One is self-cherishing, and the other is other-cherishing mind. Self-cherishing mind and the other-cherishing mind. Okay, tell me, which of the two is stronger within us? Self-cherishing is much, much, much stronger, right? Okay, now see which of the two will benefit us more. Self-cherishing benefits us more, or other-cherishing benefits us more, right? Don't just say, no, the self-cherishing is not good, other-cherishing is so good. We can say like this, but we don't feel it. How we don't feel it is because we actually don't behave like this. We behave simply by the self-centered mind. We don't behave with the other-cherishing mind. You getting it? Okay. Say, no, I'm really kind to other people. But somebody says, what a stupid guy you are. Somebody says like this, what a stupid you are. Instantly you become angry, right? Which means that self-centered is so inside there, right? So that what the ordinary people consider as kind and these things is something very ordinary. It's something so simplistic. It is not really what we mean by kind in the context of the Bodhisattva practice. You getting it? So therefore now what we are learning here is that within the mind, okay, within the mind, do you agree with me? Within the mind, there are two mental states. There are so many kinds. There are two mental. One kind is self-cherishing, and the other one is other-cherishing. Do you agree that we have these two mental states? Okay. Now, thus far, we have been, say, in your past lives, not this life, in your past lives, you have been going more closer towards the other-cherishing mind or the self-cherishing mind in the past lives. How many of you remember that? Huh? You may not remember that, but you can infer. You can infer. How can you infer that? From what we are doing now. From this we can say, from what we are doing today, from this we can say what I was yesterday. Right? From what I'm behaving today, it predicts what I was doing yesterday. What I'm doing this life, from there I can predict what I was doing last life. This is how we can easily predict. You're getting it? So, now, say it is, so sometimes we did display other-cherishing mind. It's not that 100% self-centered. Sometimes we did demonstrate other-cherishing mind once in a while. Okay, so now the point is, but no doubt, we are predominantly self-cherishing, self-centered, right? Okay. Now, self-centered. I said, how many of you are expert in other-cherishing mind? And how many of us are expert in self-centered mind? Right? We are so expert. We are professional. Right? We are really professional in self-centered attitude. Right? Really professional. It's amazing. Wow. So the practice of bodhicitta, right? Say, in my case, is okay. I'm trying my best. I'm so fond of this practice, no doubt. It doesn't mean that I have really achieved something. This is not what I'm saying. Since I was like 20, 21, from there, with the enrollment in the monastery, this is something which is so close to me, the practice of bodhicitta. And it has been very challenging at the same time. Very challenging. How the self-centered attitude, right, comes. It's, wow, very sophisticated, very complex self-centered attitude. Very complex, so expert, and so cunning, and so vicious, so astute, right? Very complex. Wow, it's amazing. So from this I can see the self-centered attitude, we have already reached the zenith, the professional level. We have reached that already. Yet, what have we achieved out of this self-centered attitude? We have achieved only suffering. Right? Okay, now it is high time. We know what self-centered attitude is. Now, and self-centered attitude is, say for example, if somebody says to you, you're just a stupid guy, right? You become so angry. What made you to be angry? Self-centered attitude. You agree with me or not? Yes, no. Self-centered attitude made you so angry, right? Okay, look at it. And when you feel angry, what do you feel? You feel the strength? You feel the strength? Yes. You feel so strong. What kind of strength? You dare to say anything nasty against the other person, right? Even this mug, which you have bought for like $200 euro, very expensive, right? Even this you can easily break, right? When your anger subsides, then you regret. You regret, right? And in some cases, okay, this I hope nobody's doing that. So in some cases, you become so angry, and then you fight with your husband, you fight with your wife, you beat your children, scold your children like this, and then when the anger subsides, you regret. This happens so many times. So therefore, this self-centered attitude, it is giving you the energy. This is a very blind energy, very blind, deceptive energy. You getting it? So now the point is how to see to the demerits of self-cherishing, right? Because what do you want? Tell me. Right? To speak about self-cherishing, other cherishing, keep this aside for the time being. What is your main agenda? Be kind to yourself and... Okay, I want to listen from you again. What are the two agendas of a life? Be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Okay, in Spanish, in French. In French, how would you say this? No, everyone. In French, how would you say this? How would you say this? Number 2? Oh, good. Okay, these two don't forget, right? By cherishing yourself, by self-cherishing, if you be kind to yourself means give what you want. How the mother is kind to you. When there's a fear in you, mother removes the fear. When you want happiness, mother gives the happiness. You getting it? Give the maximum happiness and get rid of all your fears. This is the meaning of be kind to yourself. How many of you agree with me? Be kind to yourself means get rid of all the fears which you don't like and give yourself the maximum happiness that you want. Raise your hands. This is the meaning of be kind to yourself. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Those who understand that this is the meaning of the be kind to yourself. Very good. Number 2, be wisely kind to yourself. Meaning that get rid of all the fears, give yourself maximum happiness. How? Do it in a proper way. Do it in a proper way. Right? So for example, okay, I went to Kalachakra Center retreat, Bodhicitta retreat, and then that was like 10 years ago, right? And the Gueshe, what is his name? Gueshe something. So what he said, be kind to yourself, right? Okay, today I feel a little tired, so I should be kind to myself. I'll go to the pubs. I'll go to the pubs to give myself, to be kind to myself, right? This is being unwisely kind. It's not wisely kind. Do those things which actually give rise to your happiness, which actually get rid of your miseries. You getting it? Okay, this is the meaning of... The first one is more like the result that you're seeking. And the second one is the method. The method. The means to get to the happiness, means to get rid of the fears. Okay. For that, what means thus far, till today, what means we have been resorting to? Means self-centered attitude. Right? Self-centered attitude. And Charles Darwin's evolutionary theory. Charles Darwin's evolutionary theory says that attachment, anger, fear, they are all evolutionary gifts for us. This is what Charles Darwin says. You're getting it? Attachment, anger, then the word fear. They are all evolutionary gifts. They are instinct, which developed over the many millions of years. You're getting it? Like, I think 1.8 million years. No, 2 million. Okay, some number of years. Okay, over these million years, the human being slowly evolved. Attachment, anger, fear, they slowly evolve. How? How they are the gift? Because we want happiness. And the attachment will make you to get the happiness. We don't want fear. And the anger will get rid of all the fears, threats. You getting it? And then, say, when there's a threat, what should you do? You should run. When the tiger comes, you should be able to run. What makes you to run? Fear. If you don't have the fear, you will not run. Right? These are the evolutionary gifts for the human beings. This is what Charles Darwin says. You're getting it? Okay, now, from what we are learning from this, attachment, anger, fear, somehow they are rooted to this self-centered attitude. Don't forget it. Somehow they are rooted to the self-centered attitude. You're getting it? Now, with the self-centered attitude, thus far, we have already reached a very high level of self-centered attitude. But what about our happiness? Did we get the satisfactory happiness thus far? No. It's full of misery, it's full of misery, it's full of miseries all the time. You're getting it? Okay, now the point is, it doesn't matter. Fine, your job is to acquire the maximum happiness and get rid of all the fears. And by whatever measure, by whatever method you get it, you do it. By self-centered attitude, if you get it, you do it. By self-centered attitude, did you get it? Did you get it thus far? Self-centered attitude, already we have reached a very high level. Did we get this maximum happiness? Are we successful in getting rid of all the fears? No. You're getting it? Now it is high time for us. Now it is high time for us to revolutionize our thinking. To revolutionize our thinking. Right? To change our thinking. Okay, how? The step number 2. What is step number 2? Hey, what is the step number 2? Reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Right? The more you reflect on the demerits of cherishing oneself, more you don't want to cherish oneself. The more you see the demerits of cherishing oneself, okay. So, say, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Look, for example, say you have some kind of conflict with your neighbor or your colleague at the workplace. Some conflict, and then your anger, your ego, self-centered attitude gives rise to the ego, and then make you so angry, have a heated fight with the other person. Okay, look. With this, then what do? You come home. You come home, and your mother thinks that you are a little unhappy. Then your mother says, "Oh, my daughter, you like to have a cup of tea." What cup of tea? Right? You show anger towards your mother. Right? You show anger towards your mother. And the mother is the first victim. Mother is the first victim, right? And the mother retreats. And then you will not get a tea. You will not get tea. Because the mother becomes afraid to go to you. You will not get tea. Then even the lunch, dinner also. Right? Well, now if I say dinner, she will say, "What dinner?" Not only she, also he. Right? He or she, whatever, whoever. Again may shout, right? Okay, then the mother, because out of love, may say, "Shall I serve you some dinner?" "What dinner?" Again you say this, and again you will not get dinner. Then you have to go to bed hungry. Then whole night you are thinking about this fight. Whole night, no sleep. Right? And then the next day you will take leave from the job. "I'm sick." Right? So you suffer money You lose money because you're not going to get money the next day, right? And then slowly your health goes down. Then you end up in hospital. You end up in hospital, right? And your colleague in the workplace, oh, why she has not come to the work? Because she's hospitalized. Your colleague is so happy. Your colleague is so happy. And your mother is very sad. Right? Actually, this is not your job. Right? This is the same. To make your mother unhappy, to make yourself hospitalized, to lose money, no sleep, no food. This is actually the job of your enemy, the job of your the colleague. But he did not do anything, right? And he's so happy. I wish that I can hospitalize him. He hospitalized himself, right? By himself. I'm very lucky that now I will not have to meet him for the next 2 weeks, right? Who made you to suffer all these? Who made you suffer all these things? Who made you suffer all these things? Your own anger. What made you have this so much anger? Because of the self-centered attitude. You getting it? This self-centered attitude comes there, so like give you so much of energy, right? Hey, your mother asks you, what? This is just nonsense. Get it off of the what tea, what food, right? Who's making you to speak like this? Your self-centered attitude. So actually, if you think like this, when you are sound, when you are mentally sound, when you're mentally sound, if I create this scenario, would you do like this? You will say, no, this is very unwise. This is very unwise. But when somebody says, when the colleague at the workplace fights with you, then you will not say that. Then your anger comes out, self-centered attitude comes out, and then you dare to even just make your mother suffer. You don't eat food. You suffer sleep. All these things happen. These things happen because of the anger. So this anger makes you weak. So anger, and this anger is supposed to destroy your enemy, but the enemy is so happy. This anger makes the enemy even more happy. Right? Now I'm happy that my friend is hospitalized. Right? This anger, instead of destroying your enemy, it is now making the enemy very happy. This anger actually should be making you happy and your family members happy. It is now destroying you and destroying your family. So this is a sign of weakness. Anger is a sign of weakness. In any case, by no means anger is justified. I'm saying this again. Anger is a sign of weakness. But whether you show anger towards your mother, towards your father, towards your husband, towards your wife, towards your children, this is a sign of weakness. Anger is never a sign of strength. It makes you unhappy, it makes others unhappy. Right? And then, in worst case, this anger will make you all thinking of the judgment. This anger will lose the sense of judgment, make you lose the sense of judgment. So, for example, this very expensive thing that you bought for $200, 200 euros, right? Whatever, 200 euros or $200, whatever. With this anger, you don't mind just breaking it. And the mobile, the iPhone 6 Plus, iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 10. You just break it, right? And then, after breaking it, then when the anger subsides, then you pick up the mobile, right? You pick up the mobile, iPhone X, 10, right? You regret terribly. This is how stupid the anger is. And yet we follow, we just get so much of deceptive, false, illusory strength out of this anger. This is just an illusory strength. This is very unwise strength. So therefore, anger is not a sign of strength, it is a sign of weakness. You getting it? Okay. Now with this, say, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself, it's all because of the cherishing oneself. Cherishing oneself, this is what makes you to feel lonely. Right? Okay. For example, let's say, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. How many of you want to become like His Holiness the Dalai Lama? Everybody wants to become, right? Okay, why? Because you see that he's very happy. He can make many people happy. Right? What makes him very special is because of his feeling of warmth and cherishing others. Right? Okay, so therefore, we see that cherishing others, it has so much of benefit. It's so much of benefit, cherishing others. And now, from the cause effect point of view, say we have the material resources. We have the material resources. When we don't have the material resources, we suffer poverty. Okay, this is very important. Without material resources, we suffer poverty. And this poverty is because of the lack of material resources. Lack of material resources is because of all these things are because of the causes. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava. You remember that? Om ye dharma hetu prabhava. All phenomena arise from the causes. Even the wealth, material resources, they are also because of the causes. What are the causes of material resources? Because of the practice of generosity. Material resources is because of the practice of generosity. And generosity happens only if you love the other person. Only if you cherish the other person. Only if you love the other person. Then the generosity happens. With the generosity, then as a result, you have the material resources. So the material resources that we experiencing now, we enjoying now, is because of our generosity in the past lives. So this generosity comes only with the feeling of caring, feeling of love and affection towards others. Love and affection is the opposite of self-cherishing. You're getting it? So therefore we see that with the generosity, there is a work happening. With a self-centered attitude, what's the opposite of generosity? Miserliness, stinginess. With a self-centered attitude, it will stop you from giving to others. It will stop you from generosity. With the self-centered attitude. With the miserliness, the result is the poverty. Poverty is the result. So poverty, nobody wants to go through poverty. Poverty is an acute problem. Acute problem. You're getting it? So therefore we see that the poverty is the result of the self-centered attitude. Again, we see that. How? Poverty is the result of stinginess. Stinginess is the result of this self-centered attitude. What makes one to be stingy is because of the self-centered attitude. You're getting it? Okay. Then number 2, say good life, long life, and the precious human birth. These are all the results of the practice of morality. Practice of morality of not harming others. Right? Practice of morality of not harming others. So, this good health, longevity, and the precious human birth and so forth, these are what we want. And the opposite of that, say taking birth in the lower realms, and then the short life, illness, and so forth, these are the results of the lack of the practice of morality of abstaining from harming others. Now here we see that what makes us not to practice the morality of stopping harming others. So, what's the opposite of that? We harm others. Harming others is because of, again, anger and self-centered attitude. So self-centered attitude stops us from practicing the morality of not harming others, because of which what we want is we want a long life, good health, favorable birth, and so forth. All these are forbidden, stopped by the self-centered attitude. Number 2. Then number 3 is the radiance. The radiance. Say, some people, did you notice that? Some people, they have the radiance. Radiance meaning, they come out and they have such the glow in their appearance. There's such a glow in their appearance. In fact, I remember my teacher, Venerable Gelamripa. Okay, how many of you have heard about him? Okay, Gelamripa, there were two. One in Tibet, one was in India. I'm talking about the one in India. When you go to he was the hermit. He was a hermit. He was hermit for about like 30 or 40 years in a mountain. So when you go to see him in his hermitage, he was just like, he's fine, just the ordinary monk. When you see him outside, amongst the public, you see him out, just something standing out with a glow. Something very different. Very different. So this is known as the radiance. So this radiance, something which is, the standing out from the rest. So this is the result of the practice of patience. Practice of patience. The radiance in your physical appearance. So this radiance and the lack of radiance, opposite of the radiance is a lack of radiance. Lack of radiance is because of the anger. Opposite of the patience is the anger. So anger because of the self-centered attitude. Even the fact that we don't have the radiance is also because of the self-centered attitude. We want radiance. We want, we want to look nice. We want to look nice. But this is not happening because of the self-centered attitude. And then the practice of the enthusiasm, joyous effort. With joyous effort, there is the elegance. These two are different. Radiance and elegance. These two are different. Some people, there's such elegance there. Right? Some have the radiance, may not have elegance. Some have elegance, may not have radiance. Some have elegance and radiance both. So, elegance is because of the practice of the elegance. There's a richness there. The richness, elegance. Elegance is because of the practice of the enthusiasm. Joyous effort. Joyous effort in virtue. Joyous effort in virtue is because of joyous effort. What is the opposite of joyous effort in virtue? Laziness. And what makes us lazy? Because of self-centered attitude. I don't want to do this. I'll do it tomorrow. The laziness. So this is because of the self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude. So you see that the lack of the elegance is also because of this self-centered attitude. Okay. Then, say, the lack of peace of mind. That your mind is constantly, the restless. Lack of peace of mind is because of the lack of samadhi. And samadhi, why we don't have a good samadhi? Because we're always, our mind is always being disturbed. Samadhi means peace of mind, mental concentration. Why mental concentration is not happening? Because we are always engaged, we're so actively involved in thinking of how to harm others, thinking of how to promote oneself. Your mind is so fluctuated in this, the disturbance. So this stops us from having this samadhi. Again, why this mind is so busy trying to think of harming others, trying to promote oneself, and so forth. Why? Self-centered attitude. Okay. So we see, and then finally the wisdom. The wisdom to give rise to the liberation, wisdom to give rise to Buddhahood. So this wisdom, right? This wisdom at the base is understanding of dependent origination. Right? Dependent origination. And why we have not achieved liberation, why we have not achieved Buddhahood thus far? It's all because of the self-centered attitude. You're getting it? So therefore, self-centered attitude, this is one which stops us. All we want is we want wealth. We want favorable birth, longevity and so forth. We want radiance. We want elegance. We want peace of mind. We want liberation. Right? Yet, we don't have these things. Why? Because of the self-centered attitude. If you think like this, self-centered attitude, it is so vicious. Okay. How many of you have the very strong feeling of the self-centered attitude at one point in time? Very strong feeling of self-centered attitude when you confront with somebody else. How many of you have that experience? We all have that experience, right? So, what is that like? Tell me, what is that like when the self-centered attitude comes to you? What is that like? Okay, I will try to describe this and then you see whether you agree with me, right? I'll try to describe this, you see whether you agree with me. Okay, when the self-centered attitude comes to you, it comes to you as though like that to give you such the support, such a strength, right? As though like it is the protective guard for you. Guard, right? And as well, I to telling you that, just don't worry, I will do everything, right? As well, like self-centered attitudes to give you everything. Is this how the self-centered attitude appears to your mind? Yes, this is how the self-centered attitude. Yet, does it give you happiness? Does it give you all these things? Not at all. This self-centered attitude is so vicious. When it comes to you, it blinds us. It blinds us and gives us impression as well, like it is there to give you all the happiness and remove all your fears. In actuality, it attracts all the fears and it pushes away all the happiness. This is what the self-centered attitude does. Right? Okay. So with this, what I would suggest is that, let's say that whenever you have a feeling of, say, feeling of low, right? Feeling of a little bit of upset, sadness, whenever these things happen, be mindful that, okay, it can be because of somebody else, don't worry. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Say, it can be the feeling of lowness, feeling of sadness, feeling of agitation may come to you because of other factors, because of whatever factors, but when it comes to you, who's unhappy? Tell me. I am unhappy. So the moment there's unhappiness within you, at the core is the self-centered attitude. You're getting it? At the core is the self-centered attitude. Okay, let me give an example. Okay. Self-centered attitude sometimes is amazing. This was what I used to think. I don't know whether it happened to you sometimes. It used to happen to me when I was the younger days. For example, say, I was talking to you, and then with my hand gesture, suddenly what happens? My hand hits the mug, and the mug falls, and the mug breaks, and the piece flies up, and then make a cut, injure my hand. Sometimes it can happen, right? When it happens, then whose mistake is that? My mistake. But I don't see it as my mistake. Whoever is next to me, right? It's because of capricious there. because of capricious there that it fall down. Right? My hand hit it, and then it's because of capricious. Right? Whoever is next to me, he's the victim. He or she is the victim. Okay, did it ever happen to you sometimes? Right? Okay. Be very careful. Some people, right, say if you go to a house to meet a friend, and then when you are somehow either about to go to the house, or when you're all in the house, or when you leave the house, the other person becomes sick. Oh, it's because of this visitor. It's very dangerous. Terrible, very scary. Very scary. Okay, be very careful. Right? Okay, so look. It falls, and the person next to you is the victim. Right? It's because of he that this happened. Okay. What made you to say this? It's all because of the self-centered attitude. You don't want to blame yourself. It's all because of self-centered attitude that all these things. So now, what I'm saying is that whereas, okay, let's say that the point is that the same situation, right? Okay, I'll create this. Actually, it actually happened, right? The same situation can trigger irritation, anger in somebody, and create feeling of love and affection towards others. Same situation. Can you imagine? Did it ever happen? Can you imagine such a situation? Okay, let me give an example. Say, I think that was the 2000 what? It was 2000, I think, 2008. I think 2008 or 2009. There were a group of Tibetan children. Okay, so now this time we will do the class till 4:30. Then 4:30 to 5 we'll have tea break. And then 5 again we'll have the next session, right? So what happened was that there was a group of children who came from America, Tibetan children, either who were born in America or who were brought up in America. So they came to India, Dharamsala, for a summer camp, 1 month summer camp program. And then I was asked to teach philosophy to them, right? Buddhist philosophy. And this group, the age difference is huge, from 6 years to 19 years. So, in my class, I split them into two, junior and senior. 6 to 12 and 13 to 19. I split into two. Then I was teaching the philosophy to the younger one. Thank you, Eric. Okay. I was teaching the younger one, and the younger one, there was particularly one boy who was so mischievous, so naughty. And he was always the backbencher. You know what backbencher is? No? Always sitting at the back. Right? And one time I asked them to copy some notes from the blackboard. And everybody was busy copying, and he was not copying anything. He was just staying relaxed. Then I cannot go to him directly, because this American system, if you go directly, is so offensive. Teachers not allowed to do that. So what I did the first row, second row, third row, fourth row. He knows that now I'm going to recheck. Right? And then finally I gave him the evaluation. Hey, you're not copying anything. You're not writing anything. Imagine, what is his reply? He said, "Sir, I lost my pen." Right? Okay. So I used to take extra pens in my bag. Pens in my bag. I put my hand in my bag. The moment I put my hand in my bag, and it did not really struck me that he could be telling lies. He must be having a pen in his bag. This thought even did not struck me. Right? I just put my hand in my bag. The moment I put my hand in my bag, the girl who was sitting before this boy, this girl was the best student in this batch. This girl said, "Sir, he is telling lies. He has a pen in his bag." Okay, now, look, this boy is just 12 years old, right? And he was a student, and he was telling lies. He was not doing the work in the first place. Number two, he was telling lies, right? Now, what would you do? What would you do? What punishment would you give? Anyone?
Teaching on karma.
Huh?
A long teaching on karma.
Long teaching on karma. Right? What will you do? You will report this to the principal? To the director? No, because he's so naughty. He was lying. He was telling lies. And he's spoiling the whole class. What will you do? Huh? Move in the front row, he will even be worse. Everybody's watching him. Everybody's watching him. What will you do?
You ignore that the pen was in his bag, and you offer your own pen.
But he told you lie. He was telling lies to his teacher. So naughty, so bad. Sorry?
You can just offer him the pen, but you have to talk to him after class.
Okay, I can talk to him after class, but he will not listen to me. So what should I tell him? Please don't do it tomorrow. What should I tell him? Then he will do.
So, something that he should, do some reflection on that.
No, what is that something? That something should tell me. What is that something? Don't hide it.
You ask the questions on the topic to him. Maybe he's very brilliant, intelligent. He doesn't need a pen.
This is lucky if he's brilliant. If he's not, what should I do? Okay, many a times. What happens? This is when you have not come with the situation, yes? When you come with the situation, what will you do? This is the point. Many people, when you start with this, when you come with no sense that I'm the teacher, you are a student, you are very young still, you are telling lies to me, this is so illegal, right? You will go to the what? To the director, to the principal, right? You cannot get out. Get out from my class, right? Many people, they act so impulsively because their ego is hurt. Their ego is hurt, they act so impulsively. In the past, many decades ago, many people, they even slam, beat, right? Beat, they beat. You know, still? Yes, I know many stories, I know many of these things. They beat, right? The ego hurt. Okay. Finally, beat, so what? Beat, and why did you beat? So that he get a lesson. Lesson, what lesson? What lesson? Right? And this boy will eventually become 20 years old. Eventually become 30 years old. He will still remember your ill treatment. Right? When he gets the chance, he will also beat you. By that time, I'll become 50 years old. I'll become 60 years old, 70 years old, and he'll become very strong. He can easily beat you up. Right? These things happen. Okay. So therefore, now the point is, okay, look. So the same situation can be tackled in a different way. Same situation can be tackled in a different way. Different way means either you surrender to the self-centered attitude, your ego. Surrender to your ego, right? And then you act accordingly as well. You are very strong. You can slap him, you can beat him, you can report it to the director, get out, all these things can happen, right? This is one way. Another way, luckily, who was that person? The person who was already trained in Buddhist philosophy. So I was teaching. So what I did was that, okay, look, this girl, as what Daniel said, if I give my pen to him, not check his bag, if I check his bag 100%, his pen will come out of that, 100%, right? If I do that, then I save the girls, because the girl was helping me, right? I saved the girl, I was being kind to the girl. If I don't check the bag, continue to give the pen, the girl is going to be offended. Girl is going to be offended. But the girl gets so much of love and affection from everyone because she's so good. This boy does not get any love from anyone because he's so bad. Now, who gets the love and affection so much? The girl. And he does not get the love and affection. Today is the opportunity for him to get love and affection. You getting it? Okay, then I continue to put my hand in my bag, took a pen and gave it to him. Just I ignored the girl. Because even if the girl doesn't get love and affection from me today, still she's getting love and affection from everybody. She doesn't have to worry. But he's getting love and affection for the first time. Right? Okay, I give the pen to him. Okay, so he reluctantly started writing down. The next day, again teaching, again the students, just very young students, they expect the attention span, just 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, again they become, restless, talking like this. I told them, hey, listen to me. If you don't listen to me, it's fine, up to you. Listen to me, it's fine, up to you. Right? Whether you listen to me, not listen to me, during the break time, I'll ask question. Whoever gives answer can go for break time. Whoever cannot give answer will stay with me. Right? Up to you. Listen, not listen, up to you. Right? And then the bell rang. Ding, 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 for break. The bell for the break. And all the students, they become restless. They raise their hands, right? Okay, now who's going to give the answer? Right? I said, yes, you. Get the answer. 10% correct, 90% wrong, sorry. Then who next? You? I also answer 20% correct, 80% wrong. Sorry, you stay with me. Right? So like this, nobody can give good answer. Suddenly this naughty boy raises his hand. Naughty boy raises his hand, right? Then inside me, okay, all these very attentive students, they could not give answer. How can you give answer? But I cannot say this. Right? So I asked him a question. He gave 100% answer. He gave 100% answer. Wow, amazing. I'm so impressed. So happy. You made my day. Thank you so much. Now you can leave. He packed. Then he went to the door. He did not leave. Right? He was leaning against the door like this. Very in a mischievous way. Leaning against. This gesture is not a disrespectful gesture to the teacher. Don't forget it. This gesture is a gesture of confidence in the teacher's love towards him. You getting it? Okay, so there he was leaning like this. Then I was asking, okay, anyone else? Again, it was down. Again, 10% correct, 90% wrong. 90% answer is coming from this boy, from the door. 90%. Then another one, hey, Julia, you want? Then I ask question. Again, she get like 40% correct, 60% coming from there. All answers were coming from this boy. You won't believe. Then I noticed that he was not in the back bench. He was in the front row. I did not notice that. Overnight change. What made this young boy to go through overnight change? Not through fear, through love. So this is a part of love. Right? So whereas if I behave very differently, if I surrender to the self-centered attitude, to my ego, this boy will never behave like this. Tomorrow the boy will behave even more worse. Yet, the job of the teacher is not to discover the fact and report it to the teacher, to the principal director. This is not the job. Job is to transform the child who is naughty into a good child. This is the job of the teacher. Right? So therefore, this can be done only with the love and affection. Genuine love and affection. So love and affection will change. You're getting it? So what I'm saying is that with the same situation can make others irritated. Well, tell me, as a teacher, who is most successful teacher? A teacher who's able to make a good student a good student, and another teacher who's able to make a bad student a good student. Who's a better teacher? Second one. You're getting it? Imagine what a feeling of reward a teacher will feel when you realize that in the end of the year, the bad students have become good students. What a feeling of reward you will feel. Good students will behave, even if you are there, not there, right? Good students will remain good. Right? But bad students becoming good, this is the greatest reward for the teachers. Right? So this is possible only out of love. So this love will give you a feeling of the reward, feeling of fulfillment, feeling of joy. So if you think like this, in all our day-to-day life, we see that feeling of love and affection towards others, this gives you such a joy within you, and ego will only destroy your feeling of joy. Right? Okay. So, with this, the point is that reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself, just how, see the cherishing oneself, the ego, how it destroys the peace of your mind. Right? One thing. Now the next point, summary of this is that anytime you feel a pain, you feel sadness, you feel low, you feel agitated, irritated, underlying this is a self-centered attitude. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Any feeling of pain. Right? So, when the feeling of pain arises, when the feeling of pain, when the feeling of agitation, irritation, feeling of loneliness, so forth arises, that should be a reminder for us that now, look, now self-centered attitude is again bullying me. Don't forget it. Self-centered attitude is bullying me. Again, look, I'm feeling this pain because of self-centered attitude. Okay, so there, now, this is some magic. Don't forget it. This is some magic. One time, a very young friend of mine, he called me. He called me from Delhi. And he said that, Gueshe, I feel so low, I feel so painful, low nowadays. I said, why? And he said that because in Delhi is his home, is his parents' home. So whenever he goes to Delhi, he feels at home. Then when he's about to leave Delhi, this feeling of, again feeling low, feeling sad, it comes to him. So I told him, you're very lucky that you're feeling low, that you're feeling, say, painful, feeling low. You're so lucky. He said, how? It's not lucky. I'm feeling painful. It's not lucky. I said, you're very lucky. He said, how? Many practitioners, they go to the Himalaya to feel this. Many practitioners, they don't feel this. So to feel this, they go to Himalaya. They really think about the suffering nature, hell realm, hungry ghost realm. They think about it, let themselves feel the pain, right? Then there's this feeling of pain is because of this self-centered attitude. This is what they're doing. And for you don't go to Himalaya. You're feeling it now in Delhi. You're very lucky, right? This is how the practitioners, they deliberately try to let this feeling come up, so that they can see the demerits of the self-centered attitude. You're so lucky, right? Okay. So whenever you have this kind of feeling of pain, give yourself a little time and then think about it, what this feeling of pain is like, right? And then blame should go to the self-centered attitude. Don't blame yourself. Never ever blame yourself. Blame the self-centered attitude. You can get rid of the self-centered attitude, but you will not be gotten rid of. You. Self-centered attitude got rid of, you become such a beneficial kind person. This self is so precious. Never ever blame the self. Blame the self-centered attitude. Right? Again you, the self-centered attitude. Again you have come here. You have created this pain in me. Look, right? Okay. If you are successful, if you're able to blame the self-centered attitude, the moment the unhappiness comes to you, irritation, agitation comes to you, the blame automatically goes to the self-centered attitude, not the person, not towards the other person, but towards the self-centered attitude. This is the mark of you being a good practitioner. Don't forget it. Right? You practice Dharma for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and you say, again, your muck falls. And Kapisana, Kapisin, right? And Dina, right? Dina is because of Dina there for coming from America, because of this it fell. Right? The blame automatically goes outside, which means that even if you spend like 20 years, 30 years in Dharma, you are not a good practitioner. Whereas anything happens, even if somebody else accuses you baselessly, for no reason, accuses you, you feel a bit agitated, irritated, right? And then the blame goes to, yes, the person's there. This person falsely accused me, but I feel the pain. This pain is because of self-centered attitude. The sound of a clam. The sound of a clam. Right? One hand is the other person, baselessly accusing you, bullying you, taking advantage of you. One. The other hand is your self-centered attitude. Two. Even if the other person, baselessly accuses you like this, but if the other hand is missing, self-centered attitude missing, there's no sound. Sound stops. Sound of misery stops. Sound of misery should necessarily have the two factors, external factors and internal factors. You're getting it? And external factors, don't say that everything is you, everyone is so kind. That's not true. Be very realistic. Be very true. Right? Sometimes people, they go to extreme. Oh, I'm into Dharma, now I'm a Buddhist, I took refuge, right? I took refuge, now I'm in Dharma practice, everyone is so good, right? Anything happens is because of me, right? So then somebody else, they steal something from you. It's because my self-centered attitude. That person's so nice. The thief is nice. The terrorist is nice. Right? This is illusion. We have to accept the reality. Terrorist is terrorist. Thief is thief. Right? Anybody who is unfair towards you, that is unfair. Right? Nasty person is nasty person. You have to acknowledge that. But by acknowledging that, it doesn't mean that you should be angry. You're getting it? Why they become nasty, why they become terrorists is because of dependent origination. Dependent on what? Dependent on not meeting with dharma. Depending on not meeting with the teaching on the Bodhicitta. Dependent on not meeting with the teaching on emptiness. Dependent on not meeting with the teaching on dependent origination. So therefore they become nasty, right? Instead of feeling angry, I should be feeling compassionate with them. If I'm in these shoes, I'll behave in the same way. If I don't encounter with the teaching of Bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, dependent origin, and so forth, if I'm in such a narrow state of mind as this person, I'll also behave in the same way. I'll also become a terrorist. I'll also become a thief. I'll also become, the whatever, right? So therefore, acknowledging what is the demerit, acknowledge that, acknowledging that, and then instead of feeling angry, you should be feeling compassionate towards them. You're getting it? Meanwhile, the pain is happening. This pain is happening because two factors, external factor and internal factor. Right? Finally, what you don't want? I don't want the pain. Don't forget it. I don't want the pain. And if you don't want the pain, you have to remove these two hands. Either both hands or one of the two hands. What's the likelihood for you to remove the hand which symbolizes the external factors? What's the likelihood? Can you remove the external factors? Huh? Right? Can you remove the external factors? You may be successful to remove the external factors temporarily, never fully. Right? If you're by yourself, external factor, if you're by yourself, what do you say? I am lonely. If you're with other people, what do you say? I have no privacy. Yes, how many of you say this? If you're by yourself, I feel so lonely. If you're with other people, I have no privacy. You getting it? Which means external factors, impossible to get it for all the external factors. But try your best to get into the external factors to the best you can. Don't just ignore the external factors, right? For example, say in some places, people going the night is not encouraged. Oh, it's all internal factors, no external factors. Go in the night, you'll be robbed, you'll be killed, everything can happen. So be careful of the external factors. Be very realistic. This is what I'm saying. Be very realistic. External factors, take care of the external factors. But finally, the problem to come, the sound of the sound of the misery, in order for that to come to an end, external factors, you cannot really get into the external factors completely. But you can get rid of the internal factors. Of the two, just remove the internal factors, external factors, however strong, the sound will stop, sound of misery will stop. You're getting it? So therefore, what I'm saying is that finally, that any pain that you feel, any pain, underlying that, it is because of two factors, external and internal. What is internal factor? Self-centered attitude. Don't forget it. Self-centered attitude. So this self-centered attitude, again, you see that it's because of self-centered attitude. Again, it's because of self-centered. Any problem that you face, any problem, any pain, any agitation comes to you, the blame should go towards the self-centered attitude, not towards the self. Never ever towards the self. This self is very important. If you say that I'm the one, I'm responsible, I'm so hopeless, like this, nobody can fade you. It is only you who can fade you. The moment you're unkind to yourself, you say that I'm hopeless, I'm the worst person, like this is the greatest failure. As long as you don't do that, as long as you don't discount on yourself, nobody else can fade you. This I is so precious. Why precious? Remove the self-centered attitude, this I will become a Buddha. What more precious person exists than you as a Buddha? So this you, the self, is so precious. Always be kind to the self. You getting it? Okay, so the point is, whenever we go through difficulties and problems, so forth, pains, edges, so forth, if the blame goes to us, again the self-centered attitude. The blame goes to a self-centered attitude. If that is happening naturally, you are a good practitioner of Dharma. Don't forget it. You are a good practitioner of Dharma. And the moment you feel that, again, I'm so happy. Look, what happens? Agitation comes to you. Agitation comes to you. Irritation comes to you. Right? And then the blame goes to the self-centered attitude. It goes to the self-centered attitude. Wow, I'm so lucky. How lucky? I'm so lucky that I'm able to pinpoint my finger to the self-centered attitude today. Right? I'm so lucky. The more you pinpoint your finger to self-centered attitude, more the self-centered attitude will become weak. The more it becomes weak, the more it will disappear. The more it disappears, more the other cherishing mind comes to you. The more the other cherishing mind comes to you, the more happy you are. It's amazing practice. You're getting it? Okay. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhiswatyata. 43 persuasions.